My family always treated me like the black sheep. Then I discovered a shocking truth about my real father. Hey, I'm 17, and my mom is 38, and my dad's 40. They got hitched pretty young. My mom's mostly a stay-at-home mom, but she does work part-time. My dad's a software developer. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. Ever since I can remember, I've felt like the odd one out in the family. My birthdays were super low-key, just a cupcake from mom and no presents. I couldn't invite friends over, and Christmas was never exciting for me. The most I'd get was a pair of socks while watching my siblings get spoiled with gifts from my dad, aunts, uncles, and grandparents. They'd get new bikes, trendy clothes, phones, gaming consoles, you name it, they got it. Their birthdays were huge parties with friends and family showering them with gifts. Family trips and vacations? Forget it, I was left behind to stay with strict grandparents. Sometimes, they'd just send someone else to pick me up instead. When I was 13, my mom got a part-time job and we'd occasionally hang out when everyone else was busy. Even though it was just for ice cream, it was a break from the usual. At home, I mostly stayed in my room studying. It didn't matter how well I did in school or sports, my dad didn't seem to care. I started tutoring to earn some money and got part-time jobs at a food court and a grocery store, which meant I spent less time at home. Keeping up with good grades, sports, and work took a toll on my mental health. My mom helped me find a therapist, which has really helped. Yesterday, I came home exhausted from work and just wanted to crash when I overheard my mom arguing with my dad and aunt about me. I caught my aunt saying I should be more grateful to my dad. Then they noticed me standing there, and it got awkward. My aunt, who usually ignores me, suddenly called me a bastard. I was stunned and asked her to repeat it. My dad tried to hush her, but I needed to know what the deal was. I asked why I should be grateful for being ignored while my siblings got the royal treatment. That's when my aunt dropped the bombshell that I wasn't my dad's son. I was floored and asked my dad if it was true, and he just said, "I'm sorry." My mom didn't say a word. I went to my room and broke down. Later, my mom found me crying on the floor. She helped me up and stayed until I fell asleep. This morning, I couldn't face going out, so I called in sick and barely left my room. Everything I've done to try to make the guy I called dad proud feels like a waste. I wish I had known the truth years ago. After sharing this online, I needed to clear my head, so I called my best friend. He picked me up, and we just drove while I vented. He'd seen how my dad treated me but didn't know about the extended family. I've never seen him so mad. He had to pull over to calm down. After I showed him my post, he was quiet for a bit. Then he told me I'd always be his best friend and offered to talk to his parents about me staying with them for a while. I said yes. He dropped me back home, and before leaving, he gave me a hug, saying I could always call him if I felt alone. When I got inside, I ignored everyone else. I want to thank everyone for their comments. I haven't replied to them all, but I've read every single one. They've really helped me see things differently and stay strong until I can move out. You're right, this man isn't my real dad. So, I've decided that I can't keep seeing him the way I used to. I've got to find out why I've been mistreated for so long. After all these years, why didn't anyone say anything to me? And the big question on my mind right now, who's my real biological father? Is he even alive, and does he know I exist? To add to the confusion, I don't know anyone on my mom's side of the family, so there's no contact there. My 18th birthday is at the end of summer, and I'm planning to move out then, or maybe even sooner if I get the chance. Update 1. A lot has happened in just a few days, and I'm feeling mixed emotions, but I'm hopeful about starting my healing process. Oh, and sorry for the long post. So, on Thursday, before I headed to work at the grocery store, my dad, let's just call him K, called out to me. I responded by using his first name, which seemed to throw him off because I'd always called him Dad before. After a silent pause, I bluntly asked him what was up, but he just said it was nothing, and then I left to catch the bus. When I got home late that night, my mom asked why I called him K instead of Dad. I told her that since he never treated me like a son, I didn't see why I should keep calling him Dad. She didn't have much to say, except that K was hurt by it. Honestly, I wanted to scream when she said that. Yesterday, I had a session with my therapist, who's been a huge help over the years. Later, my best friend called to say I could crash at their place if needed. This morning, I woke up to find my mom was already up and making breakfast. I asked if we could have a private chat because it was important. She agreed to talk after breakfast, once Kay left for work. She told my siblings to stay out of the kitchen for a bit. We sat down, and at first, I struggled to find the right words. I finally told my mom I couldn't handle how Kay and his family had treated and ignored me all these years while she just watched. I needed to know why. She tried to dodge my questions like usual, but I pressed on, saying it was vital for me to hear the truth. When she tried to sidestep again, I told her I couldn't keep going like this. I planned to pack some stuff and leave until she was ready to tell me what I needed to know, cutting off contact in the meantime. She started crying, repeatedly saying how sorry she was. It was tough seeing my mom so upset, but I tried hard to keep my emotions in check. Eventually, she calmed down and explained what happened. When she was 20 and in college, she'd been with a boyfriend for 3 years. They shared an apartment with his best friend. One night, they got into a fight at a club because she wanted to stay, but he wanted to leave, so he went home. Both she and the best friend were drunk, and one thing led to another. She cheated on her boyfriend with his best friend at the club. Waking up the next day, she realized her mistake. A few days later, both she and the best friend came clean about the affair, and her boyfriend broke up with her. Her ex told her parents what happened, and they were furious, cutting off her financial support and saying she wasn't welcome home. She lost many friends, had nowhere to go, and lived in her car for a while. When she found out she was pregnant, she was at a loss. Returning to the apartment, she discovered that her ex and his friend had moved out. They didn't respond to any calls or messages. She got a job at a cafe, where she met Kay, a regular customer. They hit it off, and when Kay asked her out, she told him about the pregnancy. He didn't mind at first, but his parents were furious, threatening to cut him out if he continued seeing her. Scared, Kay was going to break it off, but my mom begged him not to. Okay, so here's the deal. My mom had this big dream of being the perfect wife and having kids with this guy, Kay. They were all set to tie the knot, right after I was born. But the weird part? Kay never really showed any interest in me as a baby, even though mom was always hoping he'd come around. After hearing all this, I was kind of speechless at first. Eventually, I asked my mom if she ever tried to get in touch with the guy who might be my real dad. She hadn't, but she thinks the timeline lines up with her old fling, so he probably is. But she's not 100% sure. I then asked if she ever tried reconnecting with her family, but when she was about to get married, her parents and everyone else basically shut her out, so she backed off. I was curious why Kay got upset when I called him by his first name, and mom said he's been seeing a therapist for the past 2 years. Apparently, he's been dealing with depression and guilt since I was 15. I remember coming home super pumped from a handball game, where I got man of the match, but while mom was happy, Kay just told me to put the award with my others. I ended up crying and asking him why he seemed to hate me. He didn't say anything, and I just bawled in my room that night. From then on, he felt this heavy sadness and guilt. Mom eventually convinced him to see a therapist, and I guess they helped him understand his feelings. When I called him by his first name, it hit him that he had lost me in some way. The toughest question I had was whether Kay ever hurt mom. She assured me he never did and that he only ever loved her. The only time he questioned anything was with a paternity test when she was pregnant with my little brother. After it came back positive, he apologized and never doubted again. Then, I asked why they left me with people who treated me horribly while they went off on trips. Mom was shocked to hear about the abuse. I explained that I'd been scared of Kay's family and that's why I kept quiet. I shared how my grandparents would yell and hit me, my aunt ignored me unless she needed a favor, and once, when my dad took the family on a trip to Croatia, I was left with his older brother who locked me out after sending me to the store. Mom cried while I told her all this and apologized, acknowledging that she knew they didn't like me, but this was next level hate. She then asked if I planned to move out. I told her yes, but I didn't share where I was going because I didn't want Kay to know. Seeing her cry was tough. The talk went on for hours, but those are the highlights. Afterward, I needed some space to think, so I headed to my room. About an hour later, there was a knock on my door. It was Kay, asking to come in. Surprisingly, it was the first time he had ever entered my room. He checked out the shelves with all my school and sports trophies. He seemed both surprised and a bit sad when he saw them, especially my Man of the Match award. He picked it up and got teary-eyed before setting it back. He then sat on my bed, and we just sat there in silence for a while. I finally asked if Mom had filled him in on our conversation, and he just nodded, still tearing up. So, he totally got how I feel about him. He nodded, whispered yes, and then asked if I was for real about everything our family has put me through. I told him, yep, it's all true, and he just lost it, like full-on tears. After a while, he stood up, hugged me, mind you, that's the first time he ever hugged me and cried like that. I hugged him back, and yeah, I started crying too. He didn't want to let go and kept apologizing for all the pain he caused, the years of ignoring me, and treating me like I didn't belong. He begged me not to move out. When he finally let go, he asked me to give him a chance. I said maybe, with time, I could forgive him and Mom, but they'd have to earn that. I made it clear I wasn't going to forgive his side of the family for what they did. He was hurt by it but accepted it. For now, I'm sticking around, but I let him know if things go back to the way they were, I'm out of there, and he gets it. We're planning to see a family therapist together. In the future, I'm thinking of reaching out to my biological dad, but I'm still unsure about my mom's side. I'm on the fence about them. Thanks for sticking with me through this. Little update, I called my friend to tell him what went down. He said his door's always open for me. We've been buddies since school and even play on the same team. I know his parents well, and they're awesome. I know some of you think I should just move out ASAP, but I told them I'd give this one chance, so that's what I'm doing for now. Not gonna lie, I'm not super scared things will revert. I've been saving every penny since I started working. Huge thanks for all the support and virtual hugs, sending some right back. Update 2. First off, thank you all for your messages, both public and private. I'm safe and staying at my friend's house now, and they're cool with me staying long term. Your messages have really opened my eyes to who my mom and Kay truly are. It's clear they don't really care. I've heard so many stories from others about their own experiences with childhood neglect and abuse. Every time I tried to bring up the abuse with my mom and Kay, they'd just dodge the questions or try to shower me with attention, claiming things would change. What really hit me was when I got a message asking how my mom never noticed any bruises after trips and vacations. That was it for me. It's impossible for someone who claims to care to not notice. This morning, I packed my things, not much really, and called my friend to pick me up. When he arrived, I let my mom and Kay know I was moving out. They didn't take it well and begged me to stay. I told them I couldn't, as it was clear they didn't care about me. Kay got defensive, saying it was my home and I shouldn't leave. I asked him why, despite being in therapy for 2 years, he hadn't changed and still treated me like an outsider. He didn't have an answer. I asked my mom why she let this go on for years without stepping in, and again, no response. My brothers weren't home, so I said goodbye to my sister, which was tough because she's the only one who's shown me real kindness and love. Seeing her so sad made it even harder. Once I got to my friend's car, I just broke down. We drove around a bit before heading to his place, and his dad helped me settle into their guest room. My friend filled his parents in about everything. They asked me to spill the whole story, which I did, and after a private chat, they let me know that. Hey guys, just wanted to catch up and share what's been going on since I left. First off, a big thank you to everyone for your support. So, here's update number 3. To clear things up a bit, yes, I'm dyslexic, and honestly, I don't mind. This isn't a school assignment, and I'm not trying to get graded on my Reddit posts. Also, this isn't my main account since my friends and teammates follow that one, and I'd rather keep this part of my life private. Thankfully, my best friend totally gets it and hasn't told anyone. Since I moved out, my best friend and his family have been incredible. They've taken me in like part of their family, showing me nothing but love and kindness. I really appreciate everything they've done to make me feel safe and cared for. I've met up with my mom and siblings here and there, but never at my old house or my friend's place. I've made it super clear that I'm not going back there, and after a few weeks of me ignoring her, my mom finally stopped asking. I switched therapists because I figured a fresh start might help me better deal with everything. I also learned that therapists are mandatory reporters here. After my first session, mine contacted the police and reported my old therapist. Kay and some of his extended family have reached out, some to apologize and others just to throw insults. I've blocked the ones who were nasty, and to those who apologized, like Kay's parents and his brother's family, I just said, I accept your apology, but I don't forgive you. Forgiveness might happen someday, but it'll be on my terms, and for now, I've asked them not to contact me again. As for what's next, I'm focusing on school, my mental health, and working on getting my driver's license. Seriously, thanks for everything, your support means a lot, and I'm sending big hugs to all of you.